If you are in desperate need to get rid of an entire 5-man Terminator squad with an attached character, or a whole unit of 6 Death Shroud Terminators, or maybe even some Custodian Wardens with an attached character, then this might just be the combo you're looking for. And I am dreading coming up against it in my games, because for my Deathwing especially, it seems like it's going to be utterly horrific in terms of just putting them down in one go. It is an unbelievable amount of output. So in the new Aeldari Codex, alongside a gorgeous new set of models, a lot of the Phoenix Lords and their related aspects got some updated rules. And with the proper points that we have now seen, not the ones in the Codex, there are some updated ones out there already, it appears as though a combination of Asurmen, who is 135 points, 5 Dire Avengers, which are 75 points, and a Falcon for transporting them, which adds another 130 points, is an unbelievably scary 340 point unit that can wipe out pretty much any infantry squad they come up against in a single shooting phase. The combo is set up with them all in the Falcon, which can make a tasty move of 14 inches, so really getting them up the board where you need them to be, and most importantly, getting them within half range of an enemy unit, so you may need to use one of your agile maneuver rolls to get up there if you need to, because you do need them to be within half range. That is vital here. The Falcon does of course have its own fairly decent output as well. It's got a pulse laser and a scatter laser. You can swap the scatter laser out for a bright lance if you wanted to add some more anti-tank firepower, or if you are going all in on this anti-infantry like loadout and build, you could instead go for a shuriken cannon or a star cannon. But either way, the key part of this combo is that you get with the Falcon the fire support rule. And what this means is that after your Falcon has shot, you pick a unit that was hit by any of its attacks, and then a friendly unit that has disembarked from your Falcon gets to re-roll their wound rolls against that same enemy unit. Now enter Asurmen and his 5 Dire Avengers. The Dire Avengers each have an actually fairly impressive 4 shots now, which is an improvement from what they were in the index. They are only strength 4 and -1 AP, but when they target a unit within half range, they get sustained hit. And this is a unit ability, so Asurmen, who has joined them, will also get it. That's very important. The Exarch of the Dire Avenger squad can also take a second Shuriken Catapult, so they will be getting 24 shots that explode on 6s with -1 AP, which is already fairly good into things like Marines. It is a little bit less good into those tougher infantry units like Terminators, which is what we're going to be aiming this squad at right now. But still, despite that being a less optimal target, they still do average about 2 wounds to a Terminator, so they can help to plink off the final wound into something that maybe the Falcon has done a bit of damage to earlier on. But where the real meat of the damage from this combo comes from is from Asurmen. He is, as I said, 135 points, and he brings not only some really good melee, to be honest, he's got 6 strength 6 -3 AP, 3 damage attacks from the Sword of Aser, which will really help if the enemy charges you or later in the game when you are hunting down enemy units and getting into combat. But the primary reason he is here for this combo right now is the Bloody Twins. The Bloody Twins are his ranged weapon, and they give you 6 shots, which are strength 5, -1 AP and 2 damage, which is so far so average. It's not anything amazing. But once per game, he's got an ability called the Hand of Asurien, and that can let him change that profile to 3 damage, and it also gains anti-infantry 3+, and devastating wounds. So he will be proccing dev wounds on a 3+ against infantry, which can make him really, really scary. Now, in the aspect host, as we saw yesterday, you can choose to reroll a hit roll or a wound roll of 1 whenever a unit is chosen to activate. So with this combo, you can pick to reroll hit rolls of 1, and then if you shoot into a unit of, say, 10 Terminators and a Captain, for instance, you will be putting out initially 3 strength 9, -2 AP, d6 damage shots from the Falcon, as well as potentially 2 strength 8, 2 damage shots from the Star Cannon, so that alone can net you about 1 dead Terminator if you're lucky, but crucially, it gets you those re-rolls to wound for your Dire Avengers squad. And from there, your Dire Avengers, with their rerolled ones to hit and now rerolling wounds, will be putting a further 3 wounds into something like a Terminator, so likely killing off yet another one for you, and that could mean potentially 2 out of the 10 are now dead, and then you've got Asurmen firing his shots into them. Here is where I would use one of your Aspect Shrine tokens, which gives you a guaranteed unmodified hit roll of a 6 on one of your shots. So with sustained hits 1, that is already 2 guaranteed hits from him, and then with the rest of his shots hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s with sustained hits. That means from his 6 shots using the Aspect Shrine token, he will get an average of about 7.6 hits. He will then be wounding on 3s, but rerolling all wounds thanks to the Falcon, and any of those 3+s will be critical wounds thanks to anti-infantry 3+, so they will be dev wounds. And what that means, from wounding on 3s, rerolling, he will be getting just under 7 wounds through. He'll get about 6.8 to be precise, but that could mean around 7 unsavable, except feel no pain, flat 3 damage attacks, meaning he will, by himself, kill off about another 7 Terminators, leading in total to around 9 dead Terminators potentially, or if it's a 5-man unit with a character, they will very likely get completely wiped. It's even enough to pretty much guarantee to kill a 6-man Death Shroud unit and seriously injure an attached Death Guard character, and even something super durable like 5 Custodian Wardens with a character and their once per game 4-up Feel No Pain active will lose around 4 models, with Asurmen killing 3 of them off by himself. So that won't quite wipe that unit, but if they don't use their 4-up Feel No Pain, or they've used it earlier in the game, they will, with average rolling, lose all 5 Wardens, and the Shield Captain will take just over 2 wounds, so with that flat 3 damage each, and no saves, Shield Captain has 6 wounds, so he will also die. So without that 4-up Feel No Pain, this unit, this combo, can wipe out 5 Custodian Wardens and an attached Shield Captain in one volley. It is genuinely such a strong, scary anti-infantry combo, and you may say yes, there's a downside. If you get out your transport, shoot into them, and then don't kill the enemy, or even if you do, you've then exposed yourself. You are in the middle of no man's land, and you will be getting a load of enemy fire in the following turn, and your small unit of Asurmen with his 5 Dire Avengers will probably just die. Well, here is where the last part of this little combo comes in, because in the Aspect Host, one of the stratagems we saw yesterday, Skyborne Sanctuary, means that for just 1 command point, you can then re-embark your unit onto your Falcon at the end of the fight phase. And I'm not saying that is going to guarantee they stay alive, but inside a Toughness 9 12 wound transport with a 3-up save, they are a lot more durable than they would be outside in the open. It is admittedly a somewhat pricey 340 points, but it is a unit that can maybe not always make its complete points back in a single round, but certainly they can kill off 200 points of Custodies with that once per game Feel No Pain, or they can likely kill off the entire unit and character if they don't use it, and that does equate to a whopping 390 points, so just in one activation they can more than make their points back if your opponent has already used that 4-up Feel No Pain. Equally, they kill around 90% of a 10-man Terminator squad, which does cost around 340 points, so they are genuinely just so unbelievably strong at punching into the meanest, toughest enemy infantry unit on the battlefield and reducing them either to nothing or to just almost complete uselessness. And then after that, they are alive to get back in your transport, they will be reasonably safe, and then they can just jet off in your following turn to go grab some objectives or just plink some more anti-infantry shooting into another enemy unit. Obviously, you won't get quite the scary output that you had before because you won't be able to do the dev wounds and 3-up anti-infantry from Asurmen, but it's still a fairly good unit in terms of anti-infantry firepower. They've got a lot of shots, so they really can keep doing work into things like Marines and other squishier targets after you've killed that one big Death Star unit. I'm just utterly terrified of this combo. Like, as a Deathwing player and as a player that has a lot of sort of elite infantry in my army, it is just going to melt anything that they get access to. So players are going to have to be really, really scary about how they deal with this because it is quite difficult to deal with, you can, as an Aeldari player, stop your opponent using Overwatch against this unit with an agile maneuver. There are lots of things you can do to make sure this unit is kept alive and can do this once per game unbelievable damage into an enemy infantry squad. So I really like it. I can't actually wait to see it in play, even though it's probably going to be used against me. I just think it's going to be so much fun and so terrifying to see. But I would love to know if any of you have played it yet. Have you had any games and have you tried out this combo? And if so, how well did it perform for you? Do you think it actually works as well as the theory crafting says? Do you think it works best in the aspect host, or is there a better detachment for it? And also, what other combos have you seen from the codex that you think are going to be must takes? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more Warhammer content from me, but until next time, I'll catch you later, guys.